Hey, it's wonderful to be doing this. So I thought it would be fun to do a sunflower, only I wanted to do it in a different way, like a more free-flowing way with some different color layering ideas. So I have two yellows, right? This is watercolor. So this is like a lemon yellow, and this is like gamboge or Indian yellow. Basically, one is more like a lemon, right? And one is a little oranger. So if you have a couple of yellows like that, and you can mix them, and you could also do like here, this one's a darker yellow, so this is like it could be like a yellow ochre or a quinacridone gold. See, it's a little bit deeper. And the idea, I didn't wet the paper first, I just started floating on paint, but I'm trying to do it fast so that it doesn't all dry. So the idea is to work fast. And then take saran wrap, this is recycled saran wrap, and press it into the paper. You can kind of, so the plan is to make sunflowers, so you can kind of stretch some of this out so that maybe it'll turn into sunflower petals. That is the cool thing about saran wrap. You can kind of steer where it goes, or suggest, or however you want to look at it. So I have a piece of paper now, and maybe that's too many lines going that way. Piece of paper that looks like this. Needs to dry for about 10 minutes. All right, so taking the saran wrap off gives me that. Isn't that very cool? It's still not quite dry, although it's pretty warm. But you can see the texture that does. So my next idea, so I want to make sunflowers, right? Is to figure out exactly how to do that. So what I was thinking about was sunflowers with the vase. So I was thinking about one of those circular vases, and then like, you know, a flower here, and a flower here, and a flower down there. And I've kind of got that. You can use a pencil, which is fine, or you can use a brush if you think you would like to work that way. So it's kind of up to what you think you want. Because it's damp, I don't want to brush with too much water. Now, things to know. If I put blue over yellow, it's going to be green. If I put blue over orange, it's going to be brown. If I put red over yellow, it's going to turn orange. If I put yellow over yellow, it's going to be yellow. So probably the safest color for me to draw with that I might be able to see is yellow. Okay? So I kind of wanted a vase. So this is kind of what I wanted here. And I've kind of got a nice line here. Okay, so that's going to be my vase. But I'm not totally sure what color it's going to be. So I'm just going to kind of smooth that out a little bit. So I won't have a line, but I can kind of see that it's standing out. Then I kind of wanted a flower like here. So I wanted like this to be the middle. And I wanted like, you know, big petals. Sunflowers are basically yellow, right? I wanted it to kind of come beyond the vase. And I want this flower, I want to be able to kind of like see the whole flower. Okay, so there's one flower. And then I'm just going to kind of take some of my yellow and kind of go over those petals. This is kind of a thin wash, so some of my color and texture is going to show through, which is kind of what I was hoping. And then I wanted another flower like up here with a petal like here, and I want it to sort of be behind there. And I'm going to make this one maybe just a little bit deeper. It gets hard to separate out where everything is at some point here. And then I wanted another petal or a flower kind of like down here. See, you can just freehand this. Isn't it exciting? Okay, so that kind of works. And I'm going to use some of that deeper quinacridone gold color. If you also take yellow and you mix it with purple, you will get a nice deeper color. So the idea was to, you know, do something that was something you could freehand that would give you some nice texture. You didn't have to worry too much about. It's supposed to be fun, right? It's like a summer project. So these petals are maybe a little thick, so if you want to make your sunflower petals a little bit thinner, go for it. And then, you know, in places, just gonna poke a nice yellow in there. All right, and then I think I'd like to have some leaves. So this is ultramarine, but I'm gonna try putting it on kind of thin. And I'm gonna see if I can't get some nice green here. See how that starts making the flower stand out? Actually, it would be kind of fun to have a leaf up here. Maybe a leaf over here. And then maybe, you know, maybe there's some lighter areas on these leaves. Ooh, that's kind of cool. I like that. And then I'm thinking like maybe a red vase. That would be kind of cool. I'm not really going to get a good blue because I have all this yellow, right? So if so I'm trying to kind of go around where the leaves are, or the petals. If you kind of miss, which I think I did here, you can take a Kleenex and just kind of get it back. So purple and yellow are opposites on the color wheel. So if you get purple and yellow to go together, or purple to be next to yellow, it makes for some really nice effects. And it will actually work too in these centers. And a little bit of red in these leaves also, because red and green also are opposites. So a little bit of red in the leaves will be fun. Ooh, huh. You know, I came up with this idea, I don't remember, this morning or something, but I was kind of like half expecting it not to work, but this is kind of fun. So it doesn't look a lot like a vase, but it's a nice shape, so I'm not too worried about it. I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. So maybe one side will look like a vase, right? And this is a flower petal, and that's a flower petal, and that's a flower petal, and I think there should be a flower petal right there. See if I can't bring that back. There we go. Cool. All right. Oh, that's a blast. I like that. You can scrape into this too. Let me see if I can find. So I'm using a palette knife, but you could use like a credit card or something, right? So like maybe, you know, you need the paint to be a little bit dry, and you can just kind of scrape some lines in. Makes for interesting things. That's kind of fun. If the paint is too wet, then all those lines will get dark, which is fine. So like that's kind of happening here, and you know, I think I'm gonna leave it. Put some stronger blue in here. All right, and then my next idea was to go around it with blue, but I'm not totally sure I want to do that. So maybe what I'll do is take a smaller brush and see what I can do with these petals. I feel like I can't quite see them. So this was a flower that I wanted to just really be the biggest flower, right? So everything in this flower is supposed to be like front and center. And it goes down into there and down into there. This is still a little bit wet, but So usually there's a little space in those petals, kind of in between them. Where you see something a little bit darker. If you're looking face on at the flower. So I just kind of want to continue that circle. Around, kind of like that. And then I want to kind of take some of this dark and ray it out. This is getting a little more complicated than I was thinking I was wanting to do. Ooh, I like it though. That is important. You know, I want to like it, right? And then here's the second one. And then this is the third one. Usually, these have a little bit of a sparkle. It's where the bees hang out, right? Okay, and then I want to build up this flower next, and you know, in the interest of being able to see it, it might be I need it to have some darker yellow in there. So I want to be sure I'm going around these petals that belong to that flower. And this flower, I guess, is in front of that flower. Except it's all, they're all behind that flower. So this is a tricky thing, and it's why probably you might, you know, if you get too mixed up doing this, do a drawing on paper, and then just overlay the paper. Because, you know, it's kind of, it's a good exercise for your visualization skills, right? It might be fun to take some orange. You know how some of the flowers have those little bands of like a darker color? Maybe this one's got bands of orange through it. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty cool. And then this flower here is in front of that flower. But behind this flower. Oh, that's fun. I like that. And then I'm going to take some of this deeper yellow. And give it some little bands of color, and then some really deeper purpley color. Ooh. Oh, you know, that's kind of nice. Always surprises me how they turn out. I'm gonna poke this in here a little bit more. There we go. All right. I feel like this is standing out more than I want it to. So I think I'm just going to make it really dark. So keep in mind, wherever your paint's wet, if you put more wet paint there, it's gonna start diffusing into what's already there. It's okay if you're fine with it. See, like, what's happening there? Oh, that's a blast. I like that. And then my next question is if I want to do any more, or if I want to just leave the back. I feel like just a really, really light glaze of ultramarine. This could be wrong, so if it doesn't work, I'll just lift it. And then just kind of add some yellow. And maybe some deeper ultramarine here and there. Something darker in there. Maybe something deeper in there. Maybe something a little bit darker here. Oh, that's fun. Wow. I'm not so pleased with what's happening there. There we go. Huh. That's pretty nice. So, I don't know. It's a different idea for a sunflower picture. It's not super defined. It was kind of fast. I let it bleed here and there. Here's what it looks like close up. So, you know, just have a good time with this. Enjoy. Okay?